Welcome. So I guess this is episode 2 then of Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This could be episode 2, yeah, sure.
Halloween drop.
Yeah.
What are your plans for Halloween? What are you doing?
I took off the whole weekend, as per usual.
Work. Halloween weekend.
So this weekend is our show. We have a vending weekend this weekend.
We have a Samhain market.
Yes. We're both going to be at that.
Wait, what do we do? Why do we have a market?
So I have a company called Curl and Ash. So my husband and I do transit tables, tarot tables, altar bowls, candles, spell candles, all kinds of things. We can link those in the bio.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
So
I just keep assuming that people know us, and so we make references.
We're about to be known.
I know, we make references to these things, and I'm like, we should probably explain
and then what do you do?
Who we are and what we do.
Who are you?
So my name is Kyle, co-host of this podcast that you're listening to right now, but I also own the Gorgon's Knot, a metaphysical crystal shop. We're all online. We do not have a storefront yet, but maybe one day we will. I specialize in crystal and gemstone malas and mini malas. And yeah, I just have a couple other, you know what I mean? A veritable selection of crystal specimens at any given time.
Yeah, you could even link your whatnot shows.
Oh, yeah, no, there's definitely going to be links
People
in the show
will
notes for how to support us. We're on Instagram, TikTok, both of us. We're all over the place, so find us and support us.
We're always busy.
Support us here, support us at a market,
busy.
Support us online, wherever you'd like, but
yeah.
Just support the show, please.
So this weekend we both have a show.
Yes, we have a show.
At the Samhain Market, and then next weekend, that's not Halloween, right? I have one more in between, right?
Yeah, because isn't there the 20? No. Yeah, there's the 21st and the 22nd.
Okay. I was gonna say, wait a minute.
You have a buffer.
Yeah, so that one I'm really gonna focus on trying to get ready for holiday stuff already. I know that's crazy, but for my business, I have to be ahead. So I'm trying to focus on that next weekend. And then the following week is Halloween. Yes. So I'm off the 27th through the 31st as usual.
Whoa.
Yeah. So pretty much I'm just gonna pamper myself with Halloween shit.
We should record in there.
We can.
We should, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I've got plenty of time. So I'm gonna hang out with friends that I haven't seen in a while. Do some spooky shit.
Spooky things.
Yeah, my tattoo artist just announced that she's doing flash tattoos.
Fun.
For the 31st. So I'm waiting to see what her flash is so I can see what they are.
Yeah.
Because I would like to do that, but it just depends. Depends on what it looks like.
I know. I was I wish the finances would support it because tomorrow there's flash sheets out because tomorrow is Friday the 13th.
I just don't wait in those lines.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta be there.
Much.
You gotta be there, especially when they're doing I don't even think does anybody even do a $13 tattoo anymore?
I think they do 50.
Yeah, nobody in these times.
I don't even know if the ink is that much.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody has time for that.
Seriously.
Nobody has time for that.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just going over to my friend's house and helping hand out Halloween candy.
Are you gonna watch spooky movies?
Oh, I already started.
Me too. But I don't watch spooky. You watch spooky.
Oh, I do, yeah. No, the other day I literally, because I was up early letting the dog out, and I watched a total of 7.
Shut up.
Oh, yeah, I did Vivarium. I did There's Someone Inside Your House. I did The Ritual. What else did I do? There were a whole 7.
Those 3, I've never seen any of them, so...
A lot of them were Netflix.
Can't do it.
One-offs.
No, if it's not gonna let me see
Amma was a good one.
Nope.
Sandra Oh is the lead. We love her.
Love her.
And that one's a really good one because it's all about breaking generational curses. So I was
oh.
Pay attention, Mom. It was a good one. It was good.
I mean, I watch Haunted Mansion, Hocus Pocus.
Okay, yeah.
That's the kind of Halloween bitch I am.
No. But we don't get.
I like thrillers.
I love a good thriller.
But I can't bloody stuff. I can't do that.
I could do without gore. I don't really like overt gore.
Can't do it.
I don't really like that.
It's
the Scream movies are kind of my line where they're stab.
Do you watch American Horror Story?
Love American Horror Story.
Are you watching this season?
No.
Oh.
I want to. Okay, so let's get into it, please, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to learn something about me. Love American Horror Story. I watched the first premiere episode. I find pregnancy fascinating.
Okay.
From a real life standpoint I think the creation of life is cool. From a spiritual standpoint, I think it's awesome that women are straddling worlds. You're literally bringing you're creating a vessel for a soul to come into. It's literally like you're literally like a portal to another world.
Literally.
I think that's fascinating. I love because there's a lot of like people. There's a lot of people have strange stories that happen to them during their pregnancies. Love stories like that.
Okay.
That being said, pregnancy in spooky media, I'm just so over it. I'm so over Rosemary's Baby and Possessed Demon Babies and even Evil Children by an extension.
Yeah.
I just kind of take it with a huge eye roll. Like, it's not that I don't find it entertaining. It's just there's something about, like, that specific trope where I'm kind of just like, oh.
Understood. I am not, like, first of all, the last couple seasons of HS, I'm like, womp womp.
Yeah.
I give up very easily, like, whatever. This one, I was like, well, there's a mainstream celebrity as one of the main characters.
Well, and it's also supposedly a book.
Yes.
That's not out yet.
Correct.
Which is weird. Why would you do that?
I have no idea, but if you paid me money, I guess I would do it too. But
I guess.
I'm very surprised that Kim Kardashian is so good of an actress.
Is she?
She's really killing it, honestly. I'm surprised.
I loved how her debut line was like, suck my clit, or whatever.
Yes, but like, I just think that usually it doesn't go that well.
Yeah, no.
She's doing really good.
Has she been in every episode?
Everyone.
So she's like a character.
She's a main character. I mean, I would say she's probably the third main character.
I know who she is. She's like the boss,
PR
friend,
PR,
because they're like friendly too, right?
Yeah. But she's doing amazing, honestly.
I'm going to say this.
Uh-oh.
I think Emma Roberts, well, I mean, we all know Emma Roberts is kind of like not a nice person.
Wrong.
Watch this now. This podcast is about to be canceled as we get a cease and desist.
People are going to be like,
slander!
Internet warriors.
It's hard for me to when they cast her as a nice person.
She's not.
And that's all I'm going to say.
I
don't find it believable. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I agree. I mean,
so I'm just 3 episodes behind. I'm watching, just...
We'll catch up, because I need somebody to talk to about it.
All right,
and Stories comes out on the 26th.
Yeah, but it's only like a 4-episode thing.
That's enough for me, though, because the Halloween ones that they put out are bomb.
Yeah, that's true. I love Stories.
That I will be doing on the 27th. I do love
Stories. I don't like how much flack it gets, though, because, like, not all of them are going to be bangers. Like, hello, you're going to get duds.
Well, and some of them are, like, I can't, like, Hotel. I couldn't do Hotel.
Hotel was a little...
And everybody loved it because Gaga was in it, obviously, but, like,
Hotel was all over the place.
First episode, I could not do it. I was like, what is happening?
I thought Roanoke was way worse in terms of gore.
I couldn't watch that either.
But I agree with a lot of people where that nail gun scene
in
Cult,
I can't.
That was too much. That was too much. But, I mean, they do push the envelope. So.
Okay, so that is a great segue into this story because this is too much, okay?
What are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about who's called the Blue Moon Murder.
Was it a murder on a blue moon?
It was. You're so perceptive.
Deductive reasoning skills on point. What is the blue moon? It's the second full moon of a month?
Yes, but this one is the first blue. So the blue moon is, I am going to reiterate this at the end, but the blue moon is the second full moon in a month. It's the second one of the year.
Oh.
So it's in February.
Oh.
And it's when...
So there can never be a blue moon in January. Because...
God, I hope not. Because we would be like spinning on an axis through space.
Well,
like,
if it's going to happen,
what's happening?
It's probably going to happen in 2024.
So I can't say no because it may happen.
That's what's on the schedule for next year.
But a blue moon is when...
we just had that in the... Well, no, we didn't have to have... We just had to have it in a preceding month in the year. It doesn't have to happen in the month. It has to be 2 in 1 month. 2 full moons in a month. But it has to be the second occurrence in the year.
Correct.
So it had to have happened at any point...
I'm going to fact check myself on this, but yes.
I've never heard that one where it's the second one in the year. I don't disbelieve you. It's not that I'm calling you a liar or anything.
I feel very called out, but it's fine. I'll do my fact check.
I knew that it was the
internet
second.
Warrior come for me.
I mean,
we're going to make sure
we're
that it's
in the
right.
day and age.
But it's when basically it gets like coins its name from like volcanic ash or like basic pollution being in the air, and it puts like a cast over the moon that they've described as blue. So it's a blue moon. So
it's not when a moon is so sexually frustrated that
it's not balls.
Okay.
It is a blue moon.
Thank you. I'm glad
it's pollution.
I'm glad that joke didn't die.
Atmosphere.
Wait, so what is... Why wouldn't the first moon then...
It's just how close we are to the moon. I guess like the closer that it gets to Earth, it can pick up more atmosphere. The further away we move from it, it might not be able to see
So any full moon could technically look blue.
Which is... True, but I don't know how. you know.
Right? Do you get what are you picking up what I'm putting down?
I feel like I did enough research, and now I feel like I didn't. But yes, okay. I understand what you're saying.
The moon looks blue.
Thank you.
It's magic.
Magic. Okay, so this is in 2015, so fairly recent.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the Smith family resided in Pensacola, Florida. Von Seal Smith. I know, right? It's always Florida. Trust me, I know.
We were not getting out of this recording day without something happening in Florida.
I was literally just talking to one of my friends, and I was like, why would you ever go there? If it wasn't for Disney World, why would you ever go there?
I have a lot of family that actually lives in Florida.
Yes,
and they moved from Virginia. And I'm like, why?
What's wrong with you?
Know it's not going to be there in 10 years, right?
No, thank you.
And I'm not harboring any climate refugees.
Also, just thinking of something spooky recently. Pause. Because, did you see that they caught a 13-foot alligator in Tampa, Florida, walking down the street with a body in its mouth?
Oh my god, it's like that Natalie Portman movie. What's that Natalie Portman movie where the gene pool is all...
What?
I
don't know.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's like a...
I know we're sidetracking, but I was...
so good.
So I guess somebody was...
Annihilation.
I've never seen it.
Oh my god, watch it.
Is it spooky?
There's a pocket of the world where it turns into a prism where you know how light goes through a prism and it refracts? Yeah. It refract everything starts being refracted, sound, DNA, yeah. Oh, it's such a good movie. Watch it. But things like that happen because the gene pool starts being refracted into
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is there.
Okay, cool.
So Von Seal Smith, she's 77 years old. She lives with her 2 adult sons.
Oh, she's old.
She is. Richard, who's 47, and John, who's 49. This is the part of Pensacola, Florida, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing this part right, Escambia County.
Sure.
Which has a lot of history, and it results in the nickname the Twilight Vortex, because it holds its fair share of notorious crimes.
So wait, back it up a little.
Go ahead.
This area is known as the Twilight Vortex?
Yes.
But wait, it's known, it got this name because of a high crime rate?
Yes, because notorious criminals like the Black Widow, who killed everybody basically close to her with arsenic.
But wait, so no strange occurrences are happening, just
I'm sure
run-of-the-mill...
I think every day is a strange occurrence in Florida, but this is a notorious criminal place.
Okay, so not a Bermuda Triangle type thing. We just have a high...
No.
Well, how did we get called the... That's a decidedly,
I agree. It's a detective thing, I'm sure, a cop. Because, Ted Bundy was arrested there. Yeah, Ted Bundy was arrested there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, on July 31st, 2015, Richard's boss, who's the older of the 2 brothers...
Okay.
His boss called the police to do a welfare check on the home after Richard didn't show up for multiple days. The Smith family was basically known for really staying to themselves. Von Seal loved watching QVC at home. She had a house full of unopened infomercial boxes. Oh, God. So you can only imagine.
Hoarder.
Richard, who's the older brother, worked for Homeland Security.
Did they all live together?
Yes, all 3 of them. Richard worked for Homeland Security, and then John was a security officer at Walmart. And then Von Seal was obviously
both ends
retired.
of the spectrum. Okay, cool.
Von Seal basically took care of John because she described him as, quote, a bit slow. She had to drive him to work every day, basic life skills and things like that, but he did have a job. So overall, the dynamic seemed completely normal.
He was capable, okay.
Yeah, it just, she had to take care of him.
Yeah, a little assist.
So his boss had called because he hadn't showed up for work for several days, and given that his job... type was Homeland Security at that. They were concerned that he deals with sensitive materials and maybe something happened.
Yeah, or he was compromised.
Basically. So they just wanted somebody to check. So the cops went over there. There was no answer at the door. So the officers called the other son.
The younger one?
No, a different one.
Oh, because she has
one
3.
I'm sorry. One that lives about 3 miles down the road to grant permission to go into the house.
Okay.
He said, yeah, no problem. Upon entering, they found a large mess. And the house basically had an odor of decomposition.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All 3 Smiths were found brutally murdered.
What?
With multiple stab wounds from a claw hammer.
Have you Mom ever seen... and the 2 sons?
Yes.
Have you ever seen... Who did it? Yeah, no. Yeah.
We're going to get to that.
A claw hammer?
Have you ever seen a claw hammer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were stabbed with a claw hammer.
With the claw?
Basically. They all had blunt force trauma to the head, and all 3 of their throats were slit.
What?
They'd been sitting there for a couple days also. But Richard, the oldest one, had also been shot through the ear. And the mom was missing part of her pinky.
Weird.
Yeah, so the murders occurred on the night of the blue moon, which is the second full moon of the calendar year. That's what I wrote. Fact check me all you want to. We'll come to
Wait, second? Okay.
Second full moon of the calendar year.
Doesn't have anything to do with a month?
I guess not.
Okay.
I don't know. We're going to look that up because now I'm concerned.
Someone's making something up.
It could be me!
Or whoever's proliferating this
basically
blue moon propaganda.
So basically there were no signs of forced entry, but the bodies were all found in 3 separate rooms.
Okay, that's what I was gonna... Were they, like, in, like, a star pattern or, like,
they were
on a pentagram?
They were positioned under large piles of clothing and blankets.
Like, the Wait, like...
The bodies were positioned.
And then we put stuff on top of them?
Yep.
Oh.
Every single one of them. So the investigators were pretty much shocked by the discovery, and after interviewing the neighbors, who basically all said how reclusive the family was, that they literally would have no idea who would harm them.
Yeah.
And they had very little leads for a week.
They didn't even know they were dead in there.
Yeah, they had no idea. They hadn't seen their neighbors for weeks. Now, I live out in the country, right? So, like, I also don't see my neighbors, but... Like, if you look at visuals of how their house was, it's like, how'd you never see a neighbor?
Because did they have, like, across the street neighbors and stuff?
Yeah.
Weird.
They clearly had neighbors, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. But a lot of interviews in the neighborhood happened, that they'd never even met any of them, and the Von Thiel and her sons had lived there for years.
I don't know our neighbors' names.
But you've seen them, right?
One set of them.
Okay. But never the others?
No.
Maybe they're dead.
We also have a hoarder house across from us where the guy lives in, like, Ohio, and this house just is abandoned across from us. So I always joke, like,
oh my god,
what's in there?
Right?
Besides, like, 17 dead cats.
Oh!
I mean, come on.
Okay, so basically then they decided that they might have a person of interest. Von Thiel's third son, who's Donald Hartung Sr. He was 58, and he was from her first
Then
marriage.
why would he have granted permission to let them in the house?
Wait till you hear this. Okay, Donald classified himself as a Wiccan.
Is he young? Where is he in the lineup? Is he the middle child?
58, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's
59,
middle.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he's a witch.
He's a Wiccan, yep. So, and he
Self-proclaimed,
and he lived 3 miles away from his mother's house.
Okay.
He was the last person to see the family. He had cooked them dinner, and then he claims he left the house.
Ritual sacrifice.
That's the angle that they go for. So the investigator said that they almost knew immediately in the first interview with him that they had their killer.
Oh, of course they did.
But they needed time to process the scene without any kind of confession, and he was not giving them that.
Right, so it sounds like they made a decision there and then tried to make everything fit their decision.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Classic cop behavior.
Basically,
cool.
So they had this press conference and they kind of did like a jump scare tactic, like you said. They believed the murders to be ritualistic because Donald was into witchcraft.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, obviously. So the media ran with this. Many news stations then even interviewed witches and organized groups to talk about human sacrifices. Yes.
Doesn't happen.
Right? So anyone in practice knows that human sacrifice is not a thing.
Doesn't happen.
No.
Everybody thinks it's a Satanist, and even a Satanist will tell you, we don't do that.
No. And, like, how do you think people would have survived for years doing that?
How is it a sustainable practice to be just, like, taking, like...
Literally.
Because if you're also just taking willing participants of your practice, then your practice is going to die out, because eventually you're just going to kill everybody in your belief system.
I'm saying.
So...
I think there would be a lot more quote-unquote witches in jail.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But even though he didn't confess... The DNA evidence was basically damning. There was DNA found at the scene.
It's his family house.
Well, he did... so that is part of it, right? He was like, hey, I'm always there. Like, it's my family. Yeah. Obviously, my DNA is going to be there. However, they did find bloody rags at the scene that somebody had used to try and clean up the crime scene. And, which I don't know why you would even try to clean up that type of crime scene. Like, being so brutal, right? But... he was smoking cigarettes while he was doing it that were found inside of the rags, and his DNA was on them.
Oh,
so, basically...
Did he do it?
Okay, well, we'll get there. But I mean, how would the cigarette butts get inside of the murder rags if you weren't there?
Well, what if I picked through your trash and I was the murderer and I just took your cigarette butts and put them in
I mean, I guess it's a very
rag.
creative thing to try and...
Everyone's so creative.
But basically, it kind of showed the cops, like, he had to have been there during the murders, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty damning, yeah.
He never cried. He never showed any emotion. Like, even during his trial, he said, I would never hurt my family. Why would I do something like that?
It's very Black-Eyed Kids. It's like, we don't have a gun.
Okay, so after, right, during his trial, a fellow inmate of Donald's, because obviously he was being held, because he did get charged, stating that he confessed to the murders in jail.
Okay.
And he was hoping to inherit the fortune of his mom, which was around $1 million, because she had written him out of the will. He was found guilty of all 3 charges of premeditated first-degree murder, resulting in 3 consecutive life sentences.
Damn.
But you gotta wonder whether his mom found out that he was a Wiccan, and maybe she wasn't a part of, like...
You think that's why he was taken out of the will?
Possibly. So speculation was because that Donald's Wiccan religion and timing of the blue moon, they believed that to be a sacrifice. Investigators said that how the bodies were positioned and how the blankets and clothing were covering them, that it appeared to be ritualistic, which to me is like, if you've never seen what a ritual looks like, how do you know that it's ritual?
Right.
The moon is out every day. What does that mean?
And again, like because we know what we're talking about, a ritual is like a habitual, I'm going to do this repeatedly.
Literally.
I'm going to do it so much that I don't even need to think about doing it again. And like...
But like, how would you even know?
That's what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? Like... Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, go, pop off, sis.
But the cops, like, basically, like, ran with that, right? And it was, like, super media
of course.
driven.
Like, satanic panic all over again.
Yes.
Drum up some hysteria.
Yep. So they interviewed a local Wiccan organizer who said that she'd never heard of Donald. She'd never been associated with anything that had to do with Donald.
He wasn't part of the community.
He did not know anybody in the Wiccan community or the pagan side. They did find an altar in his home and then some books on witchcraft, which I would love to know what they were. So he was
a broom closet. It was probably like, what is that green witchery?
Are you debauching?
Isn't there? No, there's one. What's the one of them that's like very like...
like kitchen witchery? Is that what you mean?
There's one of them where it's like you can buy it at Borders. Well, Borders doesn't exist anymore.
God, but damn, yeah, you can buy like all
dating
kinds
myself.
Of basically.
You're just walking to Borders.
Yeah, so basically they only found like an altar space and books at his house, but he did later confess once they were like, what was the ritual, basically?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Tell us what the hell's happening.
That's one of my, like, burning questions.
He later confessed that it literally wasn't ritualistic at all, that he would have no idea how to have even done that.
But he did kill them.
He did. It was all about the money, but the missing pinky on his mother was because he tortured her to get the safe combination before murdering her. And the blankets were used to keep the bodies warm to throw the investigators off on a timeline. Basically, he cooked them dinner, he murdered them, and then no one found them until 3 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the pinky thing was kind of ironic, though, because when they actually got inside the safe, it was dollar bills.
There was nothing in the safe worth it.
Nope. But maybe he had taken the money, and, like, God only knows what he did with it, but they never found any money.
And why wouldn't you take all of the money? Like, you wouldn't just leave a couple dollars in there if you're clearing out a safe. Like, right. You're taking all of the money.
And it's amazing to me that, like, you're that much of a pansy that you picture Pinky, right? Like, why wouldn't you, like, if you were going at people with a claw hammer.
Right.
All I would have to do is, like, hold it over somebody and be like, I'm going to kill you. I already killed your 2 sons. Tell me where the money is.
Yeah, she's a 77-year-old woman.
He cut her pinky off.
Yeah. And then probably was trying to, like, was probably trying to have a rational conversation as this lady's like, you just killed my kids and cut off my pinky.
Basically, none of his plans worked, obviously. What?
Was it intentional in that, or did it just so happen to line up with the blue moon? I know that it wasn't, like, a ritual, but did he, like...
It just so happened.
Because if he's Wiccan, any witch with her soul is aware of a moon phase at any given time.
Yep.
So...
I mean, it basically appears like the media, like, just learned that he had a witchcraft book in his house and was like, he's a witch!
Connected dots.
Yeah, basically. Okay. And the blue moon, which is wild that he didn't even realize it was a blue moon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Any
but
witch
all these other people did.
And if, again...
Are you a witch? Like, why do you know it's a blue moon?
That's what I'm saying. If it wasn't a ritual, was he at least trying to, like, time it up with the moon? Because, like, isn't a full moon a time to, like, manifest or, like...
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a time to do a lot of things, technically. Some full moons, like, we're about to have an eclipse full moon.
Well, I just know in broad terms, isn't, like, the time to bring things in is a full moon, and then the new moon is time to, like, get things out, right?
True. And
so didn't you do things backwards? Because if you're trying to get your mom out of your life, wouldn't you do it during a new moon?
So actually, I'll tell you a little bit about what I found on the blue moon. So to give actual meanings of the blue moon in paganism or, like, Wiccan in any cultures. Now, I can't speak for Wiccan because I don't know much about it. How they use the moon, rather. Mm-hmm. But it's the first moon that appears as blue and is due to a specific type of dirt in the atmosphere during that time of year. It could be volcanic or pollution. And it's the second full moon in the month.
Okay.
Shakespeare actually coined the word blue moon.
Good for him.
Yeah. And
Shout out Shakespeare.
And it was adapted in many cultures in different ways. Some people believe it to be lucky, as it's rare. And some people believe it's full of mystery and tricksters.
It's also a delicious beer.
Blue moon, I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Blue moon activities can include foraging for flowers or berries to use in abundance or spell work throughout the year.
Okay.
Turning a coin in your pocket for fortune or luck under the full moon.
Under a blue moon?
Yep.
Okay.
Fertility spells, or as many practices believe that the blue moon or supermoons hold twice the power. It can be used to amplify spell work and cleansing. I do agree with that about supermoons. Yes.
We can amplify spell work.
Under a supermoon?
Work.
For sure. Do you make moon water?
Sometimes.
Okay, well...
But then I just drink it. Because I'm like, I don't know what to do with it.
That's okay.
Or I put it in the, like, when I had your room spray that I was obsessed with, I was putting it in the room spray to make it last longer.
That's amazing, though. Like, yeah. I use, like, you'll see my Rosa Jericho's over there on my one altar space. That I use... Right now I'm using... from the strawberry moon in June, because I resonate with that moon in particular the most, and I always keep it next to my money bowl. But it just depends. Everybody uses different moons for different reasons. Whenever I will say for myself, if a moon goes along with an eclipse, I do absolutely nothing. Okay. I don't manifest.
I think I've heard that before.
I don't use shit. Some people though see that as the only moons that they work with because they feel like
eclipse moons.
Yes.
Oh.
Or, like, we just had an eclipse moon in Scorpio, and I was like, there ain't no way in hell.
Aren't we supposed to have a lunar eclipse on the 14th?
Yep. That's what I said. It's this weekend.
Oh, is that what you just said?
Saturday.
I was so focused on it in my brain that I didn't
We're in a
listen to what you
podcast. We're
said.
here listening to each other, okay? Full circle.
Hey, I like to think that I've been pretty attentive so far. We're on the 4th recording of the day.
Yes. So, tying this back to Donald, because of its closeness to money and luck, maybe it isn't too far off to speculate that it was about ritual, right?
Yeah.
Because he was doing it for money. He was doing it to get ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong, technically. The blue moon is about getting a goal to enhance fortune, and even though it didn't work, obviously, for him, because clearly he's spending his life in jail.
That's what I was getting at. Like, you know, your mainstream person is going to think of a ritual as this, like, I have candles set up in a pentagram, I'm wearing a robe, I've done
We're
all
doing
this.
A blood oath.
Right? But, like,
you wrote your name in the book.
What we know about practice, you can walk into a room and not tell that anybody just did a practice in there. You know what I mean? So, like, for all we know, that was a ritual murder. You know what I mean? His version of whatever he knew he needed to do to manifest that reality.
I mean, and he's never admitted to anything like in that way. But I think also sometimes when you read in books to gain knowledge on a craft or a ritual or like whatever you're doing, manifesting, sometimes you have an innate behavior to do it without realizing you're doing it.
Right. And he manifested it.
Maybe he did. And he really was like, I'm going to follow through with this and I'm going to get it. I think the blue moon part of it, though, I think just is happenstance.
Yeah.
He literally came over, cooked them dinner, and was like, I'm going to get the dollar bills out of the safe.
And then on his way out with the bloody dollar bills was like, there's a blue moon.
And I wonder, too, like, you know, he shot his brother in the ear.
Oh, that's right. There was a gunshot.
So I wonder, like, if he was the overpowering one, like if Richard was the biggest of the brothers, and he needed to take him out quick.
First.
Because the other one was considered quote-unquote slow.
And he had to work on Mom.
He needed her to stay alive because he needed to know where the money was.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That was a good one.
Thank you. Ooh. Blue Moon Murderer. And it's crazy, too, like, that they coined the name, like...
Oh, we love a hot button name like that.
Yes, and it's like he's forever known as this ritual killer.
Yeah.
And it may have never even been about a ritual. If he did a
ritual, yeah. We'll never know.
His poor, like, Wiccan community was like, please no.
They're like, this is not what we do. We don't even know him.
Exactly. You don't even go here.
Yeah, literally, it was that. Like, yeah. He doesn't even go to the school.
That's why it's so hard to, like, deal with media, right? Like, when it comes to stuff like that, because it's like, everybody's so on edge, right? It's like nail biting. Some people are like, what?
Yeah.
And it's literally, he had no clue. He just happened to have a book from, where'd you say? Where was your bookstore?
Borders.
He had a book from Borders. Kitchen Witchery.
Probably. he got it at the local Spirit Halloween.
It was in 2015. Was Borders still around in 2015?
No, I don't think so. I'm sure there's one somewhere.
There you go.
Books A Million. Bam.
I love Books A Million.
I love Books A Million.
But yep, that's the Blue Moon murder. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
I'm going to do more research on the Blue Moon now because now I'm concerned about if they can happen more than once in the year.
I would assume so.
I know that it said that it's the second second moon of a month when it's the second full moon in a month.
But I didn't know it had to already occur once in the year. Because then what's that first one? Just like, no, we're not going to really talk about that one.
I don't know. I wonder what Shakespeare thought.
That's the blue adjacent moon.
I wonder why he even, like, where does that even come from?
I don't know. You're telling me that the pollution back then was also making what was polluting?
Well, it could have been volcano, though. Like they said, volcanic ash.
So
would there have been volcano?
Well, I think by now somebody would have determined which one it is.
Well, by now I'm pretty sure that it's dirt.
That's what I mean. Now you tell me it's pollution, and I'm like, yeah, take your pick. No shocker there.
Yeah, I wonder.
But like in Shakespearean
he called
times,
it Blue Moon.
Right,
yeah.
If it was still the same.
Okay, so maybe we'll do a whole new section on moons.
What's making the moon blue?
Seriously?
Because isn't there like is that thing from Practical Magic true? There's blood on the moon. Yes. Is that like a thing?
Correct.
Really? I always thought that was just like a...
So, like a red moon, you know? Like, there's that whole military...
Well, I need my tiger's eye because there's blood on the moon.
Well...
I mean, that's obviously like
but
a media...
red on the moon is like...
Because we all know tiger's eye ain't going to do shit if you need protection.
Seriously. There's... Even, like, the military uses red on the moon. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, but they...
Oh, yeah, moon episode.
There's, like... Seriously, I'll have to do that because...
I'll do werewolves.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good one for right after... Halloween. Let's do that.
You guys are getting behind the scenes combo.
Ooh,
what's
I
coming
love
down the
that.
pipe. Yeah, we're like, but I mean, things to come. There's really nothing that we're gonna not cover if we, you know what I mean, unless we can't somehow tie it back to
spooky,
freaky deaky.
Everything could be freaky deaky in its own way.
Saying.
If you try hard enough, everything could be spooky.
Saying. Like, don't put it past me. Like the whole like Britney Spears situation that just went down. Like
I
would talk about that on here. Why not?
She could be spooky.
That's what I'm saying.
She is kind of spooky.
Some of those knife dances.
She is spooky right now.
We love her though. We're not gonna.
I feel bad.
She's free. Let her live her life. Thank you so much for listening today, guys. Happy Halloween.
Bye. A Semi-Charmed Kind of Podcast is hosted by Ashley Williams and Kyle Ugis. Music credits by Chauncey Fortune and art by Decay Decor. Keep listening and keep it cryptid.
Wrapped in fragile hands, clinging on a mound in the dead of night.